Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Nashtapaye shabadeshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavadi-uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistikim. Ete chamsa kalapum sam krishnastu bhagavan sayam indriyari vyakulam lokam ridyante yuge yuge. Nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranasanam pranama dukkha samanastam namami harim param. So we are reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 2nd chapter, text number 25. Brahman Bhavas Cha Tatraitya Munibhir Narad Adibhi Devai Sa Anucharai Sakam Girbhir Brishanam Aidayan Brahma Bhavascha Taitraya Munibhir Naradadibhi Devai Sanucharai Sakam Girbhir Brishanam Aidayan. Brahma, the supreme four-headed demigod. Bhavacha and Lord Shiva. Tatra, there. Etya, arriving. Munibhi, accompanied by great sages. Narad Adibhi, by Narad and others. Devai, and by demigods like Indra, Chandra and Varuna. Sa Anucharai, with their followers. Sakam, all together. Girbhi, by their transcendental prayers. Brishanam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can bestow blessings upon everyone. Aidayan, pleased. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, accompanied by great sages like Narad, Devala and Vyas, and by other demigods like Indra, Chandra and Varuna, invisibly approached the room of Devaki, where they all joined in offering their respectful obeisances and prayers to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can bestow blessings upon everyone. Purport. Dvaubhuta sargao loke asmin daiva asura eva cha. This is quotation from Padma Purana. The meaning is there are two classes of men, the Daivas and the Asuras. And there is a great difference between them. So Daivas means the godly persons, and Asuras means the demoniac persons. Kamsa, being an Asura, was always planning how to kill the Supreme Personality of Godhead or his mother Devaki. Thus he was also Krishna conscious. But devotees are Krishna conscious favorably. Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Daivaha. Brahma is so powerful that he is in charge of creating an entire universe. Yet he personally came to receive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Baba, Lord Shiva, is always jubilant in chanting the holy name of the Lord. And what to speak of Narad? Narad Muni Bhajaya Vina Radhika Ramana Name. Narada Muni is always chanting the glories of the Lord. He's playing this instrument known as the Veena and is glorifying the Lord. Radhika Ramana Name, Radhika Raman. And his engagement is to travel all over the universe and find a devotee or make someone a devotee. Even a hunter was made a devotee by the grace of Narad. Sanatana Goswami in his Toshani says that the word Narad Adibhi means that Narad and the demigods were accompanied by other saintly persons like Sanak and Sanatan, all of whom came to congratulate or welcome the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even though Kamsa was planning to kill Devaki, he too awaited the arrival of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pratiksham staj janma Omajnana timirandasya Jnananjana salakaya Chaksuran militam minam tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Yotavata Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tatta Kanchana Gaunangi Radhe Vrindavaneshari Brishabhano Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivajari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nama Eva Kevalam Kolam Nastyeva Gattiranyata. Brahma Bhavascha Tatraitya Munibhir Naradadivi Devai Sanucharai Sakam Girbe Brishanam Aidayan. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, accompanied by great sages like Narad, Devan and Vyas, and by other demigods like Indra, Chandra and Varuna, invisibly approached the room of Devaki, where they all joined in offering their respectful obeisances and prayers to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can bestow blessings upon everyone. So the demigods and the great sages, they are eager to have darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Especially Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Adipurush Sri Krishna, as explained in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the source of everything, the cause of all causes. And there are many Ishvaras, many personality of Godheads, many demigods. But the Param Ishvar is Krishna. And therefore he is addressed as Swayam Bhagavan, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mulrud, Adipurush. Sri Sri Gonitai, Sri Sri Krishna Balaram, Sri Sri Radha Shyama Sundar. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also addressed as Swayam Bhagavan because he is non different from Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. So even the great demigods, who are always absorbed in taking care of the different activities in this material world, and Lord Brahma being the, as mentioned here by Prabhupada, and it is known, he is the secondary creator of this material world, because ultimately everything is happening by Krishna's will. But then, he's an instrument and is inspired by the Supreme Lord for the process of creation. And Vishnu, expanded form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is maintaining Lord Shiva, is destroying at the appropriate time. So these great personalities, they are living in their own planets in this material world. Lord Brahma in the highest planet, Lord Shiva, Kailash, and so on, Indra, Svarglok. And they have darshan also of the different personalities of Godhead, the different expansions of Krishna, Vishnu, different Vishnu Murtis are there. Mahapurush is there, Sahasravadana, thousand-headed Lord Vishnu is there in Satyalok, the highest planet, and so he's taking darshan regularly, and the others also. Indra, Chandra, they can regularly take darshan of Vishnu, even other expansions. But Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna is only coming once in a day of Lord Brahma. Of course, in the transcendental realm, in the spiritual realm, Golok Vrindavan, the highest planet, is eternally performing his pastimes, throughout the day and night, known as Ashtakalya Lila, Nitya Lila. Eternal pastimes are there. Aprakat Lila, which cannot be seen by ordinary persons. Only those with divine vision, Divya Chakshu Radadam, Dibya Chakshu, Jnana Chakshu, those who have divine vision, who have love for Krishna, Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochanena Santasa Deva Hidayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achinta Guna Sarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Those who are on the highest platform of pure devotional service, the eternal associates, or those who have become perfect by following the great personalities, so they can see with the eyes of love, anointed with love. They can see Shyama Sundar in their hearts, transcendently situated, but not just in the material heart, but with this material body, but one has to be transcendently situated on the platform of the soul, Atma Tattva. And then one can perceive the Supreme Soul or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And with divine eyes, one can see the divine personality of Godhead. So sometimes because these great personalities, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, They are Adi Guru in their sampradaya. Krishna is Adi Guru, ultimately the original source of all knowledge. The Chit Shakti is there, and of course Balaram, the existence potency is there. The embodiment of the existence potency is also addressed as sometimes as Adi Guru, giving knowledge about Krishna, especially in his different expansions, as Shankarshan is giving knowledge to, in this material world, to many conditioned souls. But the ultimate Adi Guru is Krishna, who is giving the knowledge to the great personalities like Lord Brahma. So directly instructed also Lord Brahma, and he was playing the flute. And then the Gayatri mantra emanated from Krishna's flute and entered the ear holes of Lord Brahma. And then he was known as twice born Dvija. And then he was able to meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And even from Vishnu many times he's getting knowledge, the different expansions of the Lord. But he's also inspired by Krishna himself. And he was chanting the Gayatri, and then he was realizing the transcendental form of Krishna that has been explained by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada in this book Brahma Samhita, the prayers by Lord Brahma. In the purport, one purport, he was explaining. And then it was revealed to him that he is a maidservant of Krishna. But not all the details were revealed to him. So he only understood I am a gopi or a dasi of Srimati Radharani. But he didn't know everything about Krishna. So usually the transcendental realizations, they come step by step. In the beginning we get some knowledge by the mercy of the Lord or the representative. Yes, we are not this body, we are spirit soul. But then we have to realize also practically. So it takes some time to realize that we are not this body, that we are not the subtle body. We're different from the mind, the intelligence, the false ego, which is not always easy to overcome, to transcend. But one has to try one's best. And therefore it is mentioned we should always serve in this mood of dasyam. So I'm the servant of Krishna. In this famous verse, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam, Prabhupada has explained dasyam. So the devotee should always serve in that mood that I'm the servant of Krishna. An infinitesimal spiritual being completely apart from the gross and subtle body. And then one can progress. And then ultimately by chanting the holy names, the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Sometimes one can perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And those who are more advanced, the pure devotees, they can always see Krishna and Krishna's wonderful qualities and Krishna's pastimes. So therefore even Lord Brahma, so is busy with the creation and then so much to do, and then this problem, that problem, as we know in this material world. Even if one is in a position like the temple president, even the head pujari, many problems are coming and one has to try to solve. And if some difficulties are there, modes of material nature are there, then sometimes it is difficult to then remember beautiful Krishna and his wonderful pastimes. But then Krishna is protecting the sincere devotees. Like Brahma, many times he was bewildered. Even when Krishna, as we know, we are discussing now Krishna's pastimes, which is the summum bonum of the whole Bhagavatam, the ashray, the shelter of the devotees, is the 10th canto about Krishna's pastimes. From his appearance and then his pastimes in Braj and the Mathura and Dwarka, but the most wonderful pastimes are Krishna's pastimes in Braj. That is the original form of Krishna, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then Mathuresh and Dwarkadish, these are expanded form Bhav Prakash, Prakash Vigraha of Krishna. Simultaneously non-different, but also different. So even Lord Brahma, he was bewildered, and he was seeing that Krishna is there eating with the left hand, but we should always eat with the right hand. The parents are telling the children, eat with your right hand, not with the left hand. The left hand is not clean. Because after in morning, we have to go to the bathroom, then we have to clean with the left hand. So the left hand is always considered impure. Always. Even we wash it 1, 2, 3 times, according to Hari Bhakti Vilas, 10 times. But still, it is considered impure. The left hand. So therefore, when you're also doing Arti of the Lord, we have to ring the bell. So that will, and this way we are connected with the Lord's paraphernalia, the bell, and then also at the same time inauspicious elements which may be there, they're driven away if one is ringing the bell. If there's no bell, then one is supposed to hold here, if one is offering a ghee lamp, or we can offer like this. So, some small points. So one should never eat with the left hand. But Krishna is eating with the left hand. And Krishna is completely transcendental, Satchidananda Swarup. And so Krishna is complete and perfect always, never contaminated. So nothing wrong. Although sometimes it appears that he's doing something wrong, like eating with the left hand. And so he was bewildered, he's eating with the left hand. How is he the Supreme Lord? Small boy. And then he wanted to check. But then he was bewildered himself. He was first taking the cows and then the calves, and then the friends of the boys, Gopas, were saying, "Hey Krishna, the cows and the calves are gone. What happened?" Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, he knows everything, but he becomes Mukunda, also bewildered sometimes. Oh, everything is gone. I don't know. So, okay, we will look for them. And then Krishna looking for them. And then Lord Brahma is taking the Gopas also. Everyone gone. And then Krishna is again Sarvagya, he knows everything. Lord Brahma is becoming puffed up, thinking he knows everything. He wants to trick me. And then he displayed his opulences. And he expanded himself in all the cowboys. And the cows and the calves. And they were looking exactly like the original one. Like the Gopas, the friends of Krishna. And so then he came back and he saw, what is this? And then he saw they manifested Vishnu Murtis. Krishna manifested. So he understood that Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. He came back to his senses. So sometimes he gets bewildered. Similarly, Lord Shiva also sometimes gets bewildered. But still, so what to speak of ordinary personalities? What to speak of us? So therefore we always have to be respectful towards others, even if sometimes they do a little mistake. Even the great personalities are making mistakes, so to say. But still they are protected because they are surrendered. And so even Krishna, sometimes it appears to be doing something wrong. Mostly he's trying to remember Srimati Radharani and the gopis, because they are the most beloved. And their service is super excellent. Aradhya Bhagavan Brajeshatanyastad Dhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Varajavadava Arganaya Kalpitaha. The upasana, the worship of the gopis, that cannot be conceived. We cannot fully understand unless one is liberated. So therefore he is most pleased with the gopis, and they are always absorbed in remembering Krishna with so much love. So therefore Krishna is reciprocating, he is also remembering them. The gopis are always in Krishna's heart, in his consciousness, and Krishna is always in the consciousness of the gopis, in their heart. Of course, also Maria Yashoda is always remembering Krishna, and Maria Yashoda is also in Krishna's heart, and Krishna is Yashoda's heart, and same with the friends. But, so they all have pure love for Krishna. But Rupa Goswami has explained, and other acharyas, that still amongst the Brijbasis, the highest love is the love of the gopis. So Lord Shiva also sometimes he becomes bewildered, or so, and so he's also one Krishna, so therefore he's also not able to always remember Krishna in Golok. And therefore when Krishna is coming here, and out of respect also, then they have to also come and offer respect to Krishna. And so therefore they came, as mentioned here. Munindra Vindavandite Triloka Shoka Harini Prasanna Vakta Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasini Brajendra Bano Nandini Brajendra Suno Sangate Kadakarishyasi Hamam Kripa Katakshabhajanam. So Lord Shiva is also one of in the Rudra Sampradaya is the Adi Guru. He knows everything about Krishna, and so he's praying to Srimati Radharani. Munendra Vinda Vandite Triloka Shoka. Triloka Shoka Harini. So Munendra Vinda Vandite. So the greatest of the Munis, as explained here, the Munis, they are also offering respect to Srimati Radharani, because without Srimati Radharani one can never approach Krishna. So they also came to offer praise to Krishna, who is just there in the womb. But they also know that ultimately we have to approach Srimati Radharani. So therefore then also, of course, Krishna then appeared, as is explained, and little later then Srimati Radharani is appearing. And everyone was also then, of course, delighted. Muninda Vinda Vandite. So all the great sages, the Munibhir, they are offering their respect to Krishna and to the energy, because without the energy, without Srimati Radharani, we can never approach Krishna. So the spiritual master is also the representative of Krishna, Balram, Mahaprabhu, and ultimately Srimati Radharani. Ashai Vigraha. Krishna is the Vishai, the object of one's love. And the shelter of the love, the abode of the Lord, of the love of Godhead, that is Srimati Radharani, the gopis, the associates. Even Mahaprabhu is also the object of our love, but is also the abode of love when he's coming in this world to show us how to worship Krishna. So all the intelligent great sages like Narada, Sanak Sanatan, they're all glorifying Krishna and Srimati Radharani. And then by doing that, so then all the difficulties, they will be removed. So devotees, so Lord Shiva, he composed these beautiful prayers, begging for the glance, the merciful glance of Srimati Radharani, in order to be able to approach Krishna and in order to offer nice prayers to Krishna. So they're always taking shelter of the energy of the Lord also. Now, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Narad, Devala and Vyas. So here it is mentioned that invisibly they were approaching. So they were not seen by others, like the gatekeepers there, the other ordinary persons. They were not able to see the demigods. Ordinary persons cannot see the demigods. You can see demigods? You can see? Narad, who has seen Narad Muni here? Anyone has seen Narad Muni recently or any time? But a pure devotees can. Like Prabhupada, one or two times in London one time, he told the devotees, bring one Vyasasan. And they brought and they asked after, why we had to bring Vyasasan? Narada Muni came, listening. So the pure devotees, they can see the demigods also, but ordinary persons, they cannot. Not possible. So therefore it is mentioned invisibly to others. So they approached, and as previously, a few verses before it has explained, so much effulgence was coming from the transcendental, from the, of course, form, ultimately transcendental form of Vasudeva and Devaki, because they are pure devotee. And then their form is transcendental. The pure devotee's form becomes transcendental. Or the eternal associates, they're always transcendental, and those who become perfect, they also become transcendental. Then the material then there's no material body. It becomes spiritualized. Just like if you have iron and you put in the fire, the iron becomes like fire. Therefore they became very effulgent, because Krishna was manifesting. Krishna is sarvavyapi. He's all-pervading. He can manifest any time, but then still sometimes he's manifesting himself fully. Just like in the heart of Vasudeva and then Devaki, he manifested fully, therefore they became very effulgent. And it was difficult for others to see them properly, nicely. But the demigods, no difficulty, because they're also transcendental. And the glaring effulgence, so they are not disturbed by that. So they were approaching and they were offering prayers with folded hands to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who was situated in the womb of Devaki. And so it is mentioned here also, Brishanam, Aidayan. So he was very pleased. The Supreme Personality of God, of course, is always transcendently situated. Atmaram Aptakam is the source of all transcendental pleasure. And then, but when the demigods are offering prayers to please the Lord, and so then he's reciprocating. Just like a rich person is there, and then he has his dependents, he has his family members, the children. Although he doesn't need anything, he has so much money. But if the children are giving something to the father out of love, then he's very pleased and he's reciprocating. It may be something very simple. For example, he may just take an apple and give to the father, the child, small child. Where from is the apple coming? The father or the mother has purchased. But then it is there and the son will give, and then the father will be so happy. Oh, my dear child, small child, you give me the apple, thank you very much. So similarly, everything is coming from the Lord. Even the ability to offer nice prayers, that is possible only by the blessings of the Lord. So because they were engaged in devotional activities, blessed by the internal potency Srimati Radharani, and they were able to offer Girbihi transcendental prayers, not ordinary prayers. They were transcendently situated, so they had transcendental vision, and transcendental prayers were offered. And naturally then in reciprocation, so he was pleased by the effort of the demigods, and then he was reciprocating, although he was there in the womb. And, but still, he's always the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even when he appeared as baby, just a few days old, and there was a ceremony, and then Shashti Puja, and Mother Yashoda put the child under the one cart on which there were utensils were there. So Krishna was underneath there. So he's thinking I should put him there, so he's protected there, and of course certainly some servants may be there also. But that was actually a demon, Shakatasur. He appeared in this form in order to that was already there, but he entered that, it is understood, by mystic power, and then he was wanting to crush Krishna. But Krishna, although he was just a few days old, he understood what's happening. And just a little kick with his small foot, small leg, and that child just flew up in the sky and fell down, and the demon was dead. So So right from the beginning, he exhibited all his powers, but mostly, of course, in the childhood form, he was acting just like an ordinary child. But sometimes when needed for the pastime and for his own pleasure, for the pleasure of the devotees, and he manifested his opulences, extraordinary opulences. So he was then reciprocating with the demigods in that position also. So he's always fully conscious, fully aware, even when he was in the womb of Mother Yashoda. And he could reciprocate, and Vrishanam, always ready to give blessings upon all. So Krishna is actually wanting all the jivas to go back to the spiritual world, to go to him and be engaged in the transcendental loving exchange with him. So he's very eager to bestow his blessings. But the conditioned souls in conditioned state, they're not able to understand how to approach, how to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore the Bada Jiva, the conditioned soul, has to approach the representative of the Lord, the pure devotee. And then as explained here, that sa anucharai munibhir narad adi bhi. So it is mentioned here, not only the munis came, some great sages, but then the followers also. And same with Narada Muni and his followers, Devai, the demigods and their followers, sa anucharai. And we can see practically a great personality is usually accompanied by an entourage. The king, he has his ministers and his advisors, and even family members may be there. He's practically never alone. Or even the powerful Acharya is there, and then when he's manifesting the seva of delivering the conditioned souls, then he's accompanied by his followers, by his disciples. Sanucharai. And so it is an important point to notice also that one has to actually be always seeking the association with the devotees who are advanced. So the spiritual master or other devotees who are advanced. And so not only for the sake of now I have to be with my Guru Maharaj and just be there, but one has to be ready to serve. Tadvidi paripatane pariprasnane sevaya. One goes to the spiritual master and one may ask questions, and then with the seva bhava, ready to serve, to do whatever the spiritual master wants. Not just simply going there for the sake of being with the spiritual master and showing I'm there. But one should be inquisitive, and one should be always ready to serve, and then follow the instructions of the spiritual master. So having the association, physical association of the spiritual master is important, but more important is Vani Seva. Following the instructions, Vani, Dibya Vani, the divine instructions which the spiritual master is giving. Anugatya, so one should follow not the spiritual master and following the footsteps of the previous acharyas, the great devotees. And in this way then we can advance. So we are Prabhupada-nuga, following Prabhupada, and then we are Rupa-nuga, following Srila Rupa Goswami. And then we are doing Raga-nuga, bhakti, following the eternal associate of the Lord, the gopis or Mother Yashoda, the friends of Krishna. And thus externally we are following the spiritual master Rupa Goswami. Internally we are following the eternal associates, internally like Rupa Manjari and the gopis. So Sevada Saraka Rupena Sira Rupena Chatrahi Tadbhavilupsana Kaya Vrajlokanu Sarataha. So externally, as sadhaka we perform service, but then internally, ultimately we have to also be engaged in serving Krishna. And always you should be in Braj, physically, if not physically, then mentally. Hare Krishna. Any question? 2 questions you can take. Everything clear? Mataji has a question.
Thank you for the class. My question is, we heard in the previous class that Yashoda Mataji was also pregnant with Krishna and the
Yogamaya.
Yogamaya.
Yes.
So when nothing mentioned of that if God means demigods are worshipping her,
Yes.
nothing mentioned. And also I heard that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So
Yes.
is it that Mother Devi has real Krishna or the Vasudeva? Is there a difference or?
Yes, there's a difference between Vasudeva Krishna and Yashodanandan Krishna. Actually, Krishna, he appeared simultaneously in 2 places. In Mathura, in the prison, as a son of Vasudeva and Devaki. First he appeared in 4-arm form just to show them I'm the Supreme Lord, which they wanted a child like the Supreme Lord. But then he accepted 2-arm form as a son of Vasudeva and Devaki, because they also wanted to have a child, but they wanted a child just like the Supreme Lord, or the Supreme Lord as a child, so that was fulfilled. So that is Vasudeva Krishna. And then at the same time, also Mother Yashoda was pregnant, and actually at the same time Yashodanandan Krishna appeared from the womb of Mother Yashoda. And then also Yogamaya appeared after that also. So yes, the demigods, they are offering prayers to Krishna, because Krishna is the origin of all. Yogamaya is the potency, one of the potencies of the Lord. And just like the many personalities of Godhead, so Krishna is the origin of all, and then Vasudeva Krishna, and then Ram, Vishnu, and so on, so many personalities of Godhead. But Krishna is the source. And Srimati Radharani, she is the Mool Shakti, the original energy. So, but she appeared as the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kitida Devi. And so Bhattit Yogamaya, so that is an expanded form of Srimati Radharani, and for the purpose of also accomplishing many of the pastimes of the Lord. So she appeared there, and so definitely the demigods, they are great personalities, and they must have been aware also. But the prayer is always offered to the Supreme Being, that is to Krishna. And so Yogamaya is the energy of the Lord, also to be respected, but the prayers were offered to Krishna. Only later on, because of course when Radharani appeared, they were also offering prayers, like Narada Muni was there, and others, they were also able to understand that Srimati Radharani and the Mool Shakti has appeared, and they were offering prayers like that. So, we should understand that the eternal consort of Yashodananda Krishna is Srimati Radharani. And so when they are together, then they are offered prayers too. And of course, even sometimes they are separated in that pastime, and then the devotees are taking shelter of Srimati Radharani. In order to serve Krishna, we have to actually take shelter of the energy of the Lord, that is Srimati Radharani. So, but Yogamaya is an expanded form, and so also to be respected. Even Durga Devi, the external energy, we also respect. But we try to be aloof from Durga Devi, and not under the influence of Durga Devi, Maya Devi. We say, oh, this Prabhu is in Maya. But we don't want to be Maya, we try to be aloof from Maya. So therefore we may respect also Maya Devi, Durga Devi, the external energy, and pray to her, please, let me serve Krishna. And let me not be under your influence. We like you very much, but please, leave me alone. But usually it is like that, not even that Maya doesn't have to do much, but even the conditioned soul is embracing Maya instead of embracing Krishna. So, but we respect the external energy, we respect the internal energy, but we take shelter of the Mool Shakti, the original energy, the Hladini Shakti, the pleasure potency of Krishna, Hladini Shakti Srimati Radharani. And then with her mercy we can actually approach Krishna, we can serve Krishna, we can offer nice prayers to Krishna. So they were offering prayers to Krishna, but certainly they were aware also of Yoga Maya, that we should understand, okay? Yes?
Right. Now you were saying, well, if pure devotee can see in the demigods, but sometimes devotees say, see Krishna, they see Prabhupada.
They see Krishna, they see Prabhupada?
Yeah.
Yes, the devotees are saying. Yes.
They are not pure devotees, but how can they see Krishna and Prabhupada?
How they can see Krishna and Prabhupada? Well, here you have the Murti of Prabhupada, so Prabhupada is here. We can see him, so they are so mercifully they appeared. And the Murti is no different from Prabhupada. That will help us so we can see, even when we're walking around, we can see Prabhupada. And then Krishna, Mahaprabhu, no different from, and Krishna is there, we can see Krishna. But yeah, so in this way, to some extent, because of the mercy of, by his own mercy, Krishna is appearing, so we can see him. And by Prabhupada's mercy, the pure devotee also, we can see Prabhupada. But then, so even ordinary devotee, they can to some extent see Krishna. But still actually the seeing is not pure. Because still material desires are there, material consciousness is there, so you cannot really see Krishna as he is fully, performing his pastimes. You can see Krishna to some extent, like in the Murti form, so that we can slowly but surely advance. But then the real thing is there when you understand you are not this body, when you are situated on the platform of the soul. And then you can see Krishna as he is. Otherwise you see the marble also, marble deity, and why there's some spot here on the marble. And then one time some godbrothers of Prabhupada, so they were questioning Prabhupada, yeah, so Radharas Bihari there in Mumbai, how come here? Krishna is white, Krishna should be black. This is wrong. And then Prabhupada was saying, I'm seeing Krishna as his blackish form. So that person was only seeing the marble. So we should not see the marble, but we should see Krishna as he is, even though it may be white, right? Radharas Bihari. And then there's also Bhav also. Because Krishna sometimes is also whitish or golden. Radha Chinta Divesanam Yasya Kante Vilovidaha. See Krishna Charanam Vande Radha Lingade Vigraham. When Krishna is absorbed in remembering Srimati Radharani, he becomes like Radharani, golden complexion. So therefore when I see Radharas Bihari, I'm very happy. Oh, Krishna is absorbed in remembering Srimati Radharani, so he has the complexion of Srimati Radharani. And the pastimes are there. Imlitala, this happened there. Krishna after the Ras, the Maharas, and then Shringarvati was there, also coming to have Radharani, and then she became a little transcendently proud. And different reasons are explained, her mood, and then Krishna disappeared, and they were looking for Krishna, and Krishna was also remembering Radharani, and therefore his complexions changed to golden. And then they came there, the gopis. Oh, look at this person here. looks like Krishna. But the flute he must have put inside his sash. And the peacock feather must have been hidden also. So he had a golden complexion. Because he was absorbed in Radharani. Oh, the person looks like Krishna. But he's golden, how is this? They were coming closer and closer. When Radharani is there, when he near to Krishna, Krishna can, even after Ras Leela, right, also, he was at one point showing the forearm form. And the other gopis, normal gopis were there, ordinary gopis, extraordinary gopis, the extraordinary gopis, and then Narayan. Have you seen Krishna? And Krishna would manifest it to extra form. I don't know. Okay, they were looking here and there, asking the trees, the creepers, the animals, where is Krishna? Even Narayan couldn't say. Anyway, okay, Narayan, we were not interested in Narayan. But when Radharani is coming there, he cannot keep his extra 2 arms. And also when Radharani came close to him, then again Shyam Sundar was there. So even in Radhakund one time, it happened also in the Kunja there, that Krishna becomes absorbed in Radharani, and then he takes her complexion, her features, and Radharani becomes absorbed in Krishna and takes his features, becomes blackish. The gopis come, who is now who? Sometimes, so wonderful pastimes of Krishna. So we have to have the transcendental vision, and then we can see Krishna as he is. So therefore we have to chant the holy names, we have to be the association with the devotees who are more advanced, and then we have to hear this Krishna Katha. And then we can see Krishna as he is, and not just see the marble. So therefore, to some extent we can see Krishna by the mercy of the Spirit Master, but we have to work on ourselves to become pure, so we can see Krishna as he is. Okay? Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki,